You're listening to Mentoring Developers. Do you ever go back and wonder what it would be like if you didn't go to college? That 4 years, you just started your job and had 4 extra years of experience at, let's say, at the age of 25. You have 4 extra years of experience. Do you ever wonder if you would have been better off?
I've thought about that. I guess I actually think I would have been worse off, but not maybe for the reasons you'd expect. So probably in retrospect, the most valuable things I learned when I was at the University of Toledo were not related to my degree or my profession at all. It was all the other stuff I learned. The number of people I met from all over the world, classes I took on history and film and things like that aren't areas that I was really super excited about, but I got exposed to a ton of things that I may not have otherwise. So I think that was the most valuable part, is that exposure to all these different types of thinking, people from different cultures and backgrounds, a little bit of exposure to business, a little bit of exposure to theater, and I think that was super valuable, and I think I would be worse off if I hadn't had that. That exposure maybe doesn't have to come from college, though, but I do think I wouldn't have wanted to go purely into a technical thing and just focus on tech the whole time. I think I would be worse off.
So it gives you a more well-rounded personality and maybe
absolutely
different perspective on things. But I would grill you a little bit on this, because I think for somebody, let's say in high school right now, and perhaps struggling with finances, they might wonder if they really need to, because in some of my past guests believe that a college degree is really superfluous. Some people believe it's helpful, and some people believe it's necessary. So I will say, convince me that I should go to college. Let's say I'm a high school student. Convince me to go to college.
I think I can say for me that I feel like for me it was the right choice. I grew up in a small town. Everyone kind of looked and acted like me. I hadn't been exposed to a big world before. That's not the case for everyone, right? I had a pretty lucky upbringing and pretty easy childhood, I guess. And so that exposure to me was super valuable. That's not the case for everyone, right? A lot of people have a lot more misfortune or challenges than I had. They maybe wouldn't need the same set of exposures. They don't need to learn the same lessons. So I don't think it's one size fits all. I would say probably no one is worse off from being exposed to lots of different ideas. I mean, that's never a bad thing, but if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. You might be able to find those experiences other ways. I think people who've had the luxury of travel as a kid get tons of experiences. Or people growing, I imagine if you grew up in a big city, where people are from all over the world, you get some of that too. So I don't know that there's a one-size-fits-all route. But for me, I think it'd be hard for me to say I'd be better off if I just focus on my technical skills. Because when I look at what I do day to day, the technical skills are important, but they're required but not sufficient to do what I need to do. And if I just was technical, I don't think I'd be as effective.
That's an interesting comment. And that's because you will not learn some of the skills to deal with people, which is something you can't avoid in any career. What else? Why else is that important?
Empathy, is huge, right? So not just, it's good to know, people have different mindsets, but it takes a long time to learn that the thing that is clearly right to you, like the right solution you see, may not be the right solution in reality, because all sorts of things that you're not aware of, factors you can't even comprehend. So I think there's that. I think you have to be challenged by some adversity at some point. And so I think having classes, I had some classes I did not do particularly well in. And I think in retrospect, learning that in a safe environment was really valuable. Learning that everything's not always easy all the time. Because through high school, everything for me, I did really well in high school and wasn't really all that challenged until I took differential equations and just about failed. So that was valuable. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things there. I think the breadth of experiences is what's valuable. And so if you could find another proxy for that, I think it would probably be equally valuable and maybe a lot cheaper.
For show notes and transcripts, visit us at mentoringdevelopers.com.